Welcome to another edition of the SKNIS presented Week in Review. The Week in Review focuses on the top stories of the past week. I am Jamiela McPhail. As the Government of National Unity continues to make strides in promoting human development through education, it has once again partnered with the Cuban government to award students of the Federation the opportunity to pursue tertiary studies in Cuba. The Cuban Embassy hosted its annual Scholarship Award ceremony on Friday, July 1st, 2016, moving forward with its aim to provide 8 eligible students with the opportunity to pursue advanced education. These students were lauded with congratulatory remarks and words of encouragement at the embassy. Monique Harry, Simonette Williams, Davishon Buckshon, already in Cuba, Tashima Brown, and Javancia Matthew will be studying medicine. Ava Spencer Crawford and Carrie Basu will study health technology. Andre Hanley will study civil engineering. Resident Cuban Ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Hugo Ruiz Cabrera, congratulated the students.
And the people of Cuba once again opening arms to welcome this group of 7 scholarship recipients, which will increase the current number of teachers and musicians students in Cuba to the number of 43 in total. It is a fact that the Cuban universities have graduated so far more than 106 nationals of St. Kitts.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honorable Sharon K. Richards, conveyed congratulatory remarks and words of encouragement to the students.
This afternoon, I would want to once more say thanks on behalf of the government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to Cuba for everything that you have provided to us thus far. This afternoon, of course, we're here to acknowledge the fact that 7 more persons have been awarded scholarships to Cuba, and I say congratulations to all of the recipients.
He also thanks the Cuban government for partnering with the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, not only in the area of education, but in other areas, including medicine. Opposition parliamentarian, the Honorable Patrice Nisbet, who represents St. James and St. Thomas Nevis 11 in the federal parliament, has congratulated newly appointed Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable Michael Perkins. While some opposition parliamentarians could not muster anything good to say, and others absented themselves from the honorable chambers on the momentous occasion of the Honorable Perkins' elevation to Speaker of the House, Mr. Nisbet found some common ground.
I have known you for some time. I think we are in Nevis and here on the different political divide. I think, if my recollection serves me right, you would have taught me mathematics, I think, in 3rd form. Subject area, I think, in 3rd form. So I have had the opportunity to engage with you at that particular level. Well, I would hope that as a result of you imparting some knowledge to me, I have been able to become the individual that I am today. And so I would imagine that you would have had some influence and some impact upon my life, my student life, at least at the Charlestown Secondary School. Positive.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, based the opposition members whom he referred to as a bitter club.
And so when it comes like a day like this, to hear the bitterness, the acrimony coming from the member for number 2, who never stays for a full sitting of the parliament. She always comes and goes. And the member for number 3, who will not grow up and learn. When you hear them use this high point in the life of the parliament to seek to diminish it by personal conveniences. Member for number 3 is the newest member to the parliament. The speaker's role is to guide and help you to develop. But the speaker must not say anything or offer any advice that he doesn't like, or else he's not comfortable with you. I don't see what kind of conduct the remnants of the Douglas Party in Parliament are showing.
Prime Minister Harris said that since he has been a member of Parliament since the year 1993, he has never witnessed members of the opposition behave in such a manner.
And never in all of my parliamentary career have I witnessed members of the opposition go to the low that those who have walked out have gone on the occasion of an election of a speaker. And the Honorable Ivan Buchanan, Speaker at some point in the early years of the National Assembly, is here. His memory, because he was an active participant, would be better than mine. The Honorable Michael Powell, then Deputy Prime Minister and leader of government business, is here, and his memory would perhaps be better than mine because he was actively involved then. The Honorable Hugh Heiliger is here, and having been an active participant, he too would recall that never have we seen an opposition go so low. Time and time again, we get a reminder why the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis took the decision on the 16th of February to put the Douglas Party aside and to bring a fresh start to government, a fresh start to Parliament, and a fresh start to the government's agenda in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And in more news, while the ever-popular green vervet monkey, commonly associated with St. Kitts and Nevis, are integral parts of our landscape as they are viewed by tourists as delightful attractions, in recent times there has been some conflict between them and the human population. In this regard, the Department of Agriculture, in conjunction with a technical team from Colombia, has hosted what was known as a monkey summit. We'll hear more in this pre-recorded report. The Ministry of Agriculture has embarked on a 3-day summit geared at addressing the overpopulation of monkeys on St. Kitts and Nevis. Giving brief remarks at the opening ceremony of what has been called a monkey summit, Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, explained the summit presents an opportunity for the meeting of minds.
So I am thrilled that we're having this summit because the results of this summit certainly would reach those colleagues of mine, and it, I'm sure, will shape policy making and drive solutions that will help us, especially in agriculture, to benefit from those policy decisions and decisions that we make. Farmers and householders alike will tell you that when it comes to fruit and vegetable production, the monkey is a pest. There is evidence to support this view.
acknowledging the fact that while the green vervet monkey is regarded as a pest in the agricultural sector, and that in other sectors the monkeys are viewed as valuable assets, Minister Hamilton assured that there is no plan to eradicate monkeys on St. Kitts and Nevis.
The African vervet monkey is for many a very valuable resource. Monkey vendors satisfy the tourist's desire to pet and take a picture. Some chefs prepare monkey as trim mutton. Don't know why they call monkey meat mutton. Of course, tour operators are delighted when monkeys turn up in their natural habitat so that the tourists can see them as they pass by. And we are also well aware that monkeys are a valuable resource for anthropological studies and for biomedical research. It is with such an awareness that this summit has been formulated.
A researcher, Dr. Kerry Dorr, explains that the historical context of the problem is important. She noted that her research has shown that the sugar industry was quite effective in mitigating the problem.
They were, as I think, pretty well managed by rangers in the sugar industry and other individuals, but it's this big economic shift that has been the reason the monkeys are coming down. So my research has shown that the sugar industry was quite good at keeping them at bay.
Thursday, we'll see the delegation presenting recommendations for the problem. The general public has been assured that the Department of Labor on St. Kitts remains operational. It continues to serve the best interests of all stakeholders. That was the message coming from the Acting Labor Commissioner, Chanel James, as the staff settles into its new temporary home at the John Gums building on the Bay Road. Ms. James said that the office is open to the public from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. The Government of National Unity has received numerous commendations on its reporting to the country on its good governance agenda and transparency, as well as accountability. At his recent press conference, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, hailed his government's faithfulness to the people in providing pertinent information on public affairs.
They have pointed not just to the regularity of the press conference, the reams of press releases that they have been receiving from our new press secretary and of course Guinness, the regularity of our parliamentary meetings, and working for you as good examples of the government's efforts at transparency. More information of premium quality is available to the public and the affairs of this government than at any case, any time prior. These elements of good governance, of course, should not be taken for granted. And I am honored that our Team Unity government has been faithful in our commitments to the people. The noise of the election losers and those who have in fact undermined the public is not unexpected. Empty vessels, we are told, will make the most noise.
The Government Working for You program offers news, views, reviews, interviews, and all happenings of the Team Unity administration. The government has pledged transparency, accountability, good governance, and a fair share for all citizens of the Federation. The Black Rocks Improvement Project has been fully endorsed by Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and Parliamentary Representative for that area, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. He supported the initiative being carried out by the Ministry of Tourism, which will see the renovation and installation of various attractive features in the area. That was said by the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsay Grant.
We're going to have a management team in place run by the ministry to make sure that we keep it in its pristine condition, make sure we have security, and so the person's goods and are kept, safe. So we don't want to continue the situation where we build nice things and then we leave them to deteriorate. We want to make sure that we keep it, we maintain it, and that so for posterity and for future generations we maintain it properly.
The project, which is currently in its first of 2 phases, is off to a very good start. Minister Grant explains that the Ministry of Tourism is on a drive to increase its community tourism in St. Kitts. After years of dormancy, athletes and nationals can once again look forward to the revival of the Department of Sports' annual Scholastic Sports Awards. While appearing on this week's edition of Government Radio and Television program Working for You, Mr. Stanley Knight, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, said that the awards will be revived in a very big way this year.
The annual Scholastic Sports Award has been dormant for several years. This year it is going to be revived, and in a big way. We have the annual Scholastic, the rebirth of the Scholastic Sports Awards, which will be hosted at the Governor General's, at Government House next week, Wednesday. So that is Wednesday the 13th. And what is going to happen at that event, I think, is actually very, very significant. Where the top 3 persons in each sport that is organized under the auspices of the Ministry of Sports at both the primary and the high school level is going to be, each person is going to be, recognized. Yes. So we are talking basketball, football, athletics, tennis, netball, cricket, because all of these, many persons don't often see these, mainly because they are currently to a large extent run during school hours.
Yes.
So persons don't necessarily see them. But the Department of Sport is out there still working hard and working with hundreds of children.
Students of the Charles E. Mills Secondary School are winners of all categories of the T-shirt design competition put on by the Ministry of Youth. Let's hear more on this report from Ms. Sharina Warner.
And we're here at the Charles E. Mills Secondary School to witness the prize-giving ceremony and handing over presentation from the Youth Department to the students who emerged winners coming from the art competition. The Charles E. Mills Secondary School has once again proven its capability to produce far much more than scholastic students, but rather well-rounded individuals. On Tuesday, July 5th, 3 students were announced winners of a T-shirt design competition hosted by the Youth Department. At the school's closing assembly, Youth Officer from the Department of Youth Empowerment, Sulika Creaky, made the announcement of the students who made submissions. The students were awarded with gift vouchers. Erlene Webb, student of the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, captured the overall winner title, while Ashley Franks of the Immaculate Conception Catholic School and Zariah Walters of the Mauricelia Memorial Junior School earned first and second runner-up consecutively. Speaking on behalf of the Department of Youth Empowerment, Senior Youth Officer Pia Liebert encouraged the students to see the importance of visual arts and not to underestimate the power of their creativity.
If you're creative, don't be afraid of it. Don't listen to naysayers who might suggest to you that you can't achieve anything with the arts. That's a lie. Just as an example, myself and a couple of other artists from the Sandy Point area managed to put together one of the biggest, in fact the only, visual arts exhibit and auction in, I think, St. Kitts history, which raised several tens of thousands of dollars to help disabled persons in society.
SKNIS spoke with Mr. Darren Moses, a teacher at the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, who spoke of the importance of recognition for visual arts.
It's a wonderful, exciting feeling to actually be able to get these students to put their effort into participating in the art competition. And it suggests that here at Charles E. Mills, the art department is credited for getting these students to participate. It means that they are now seeing the importance of visual art.
This is the first time that the school has made a submission into this annual competition and is the first secondary school to ever capture the overall winning prize. For the past 3 years, the t-shirt design competition has been held in order to select a design for the t-shirts used for the Department of Youth Empowerment's summer camp. This year's design is to highlight the theme, Teamwork Makes the Dream Work.
This has been another edition of the SKNIS Presenter Week in Review. The Week in Review focuses on the top stories of the past week. For more stories like these and to stay up to date with all the Government of National Unity news, activities, and programs, visit sknis.info and the official website of the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis, gov.kn. You can also connect with SKNIS on any of our social media sites, such as YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, Facebook, and Flickr. I am Jamiela McPhail. See you next time.